the biggest challenges, yeah, I mean, shooting on the water is incredibly difficult, with multiple cast and crew and being out at sea, which we were for a good chunk of the film. Like we actually shot practically like out there. So yeah, by far that was the biggest challenge, definitely. How's it
Hi,
going,
John.
Jana? How are you?
I'm I'm good, and you?
Really good, thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much for your time. A pleasure to talk to you
Definitely.
and to talk about dangerous waters,
Yeah,
which is
exactly.
very. Ooh, I was like, don't do that. Don't go on this ride. Your daughter is right. How come we're gonna spend some time with? I was taking notes because as a mom,
Yeah,
don't do that.
absolutely.
Don't do that.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, the message. I like the message because you need to be very careful like the people that introduce to your kids, you know what I mean?
Definitely.
And it's really cool. What was like the inspiration for the script?
Um, yeah, I think the inspiration. Originally the film, I had a script that was same kind of premise, but much different locations, bigger scope, bigger scale. It was like South Africa and up the coast of Eastern Africa. Still a sailing film. But when COVID hit, we obviously needed to scale everything down. Cast, locations, everything just needed to be much smaller so we could actually shoot it. Um, so I grew up like very adventurous. I love putting myself in challenging situations like constantly. So this is kind of the Rose character is kind of like a um, an idea of me, really, when I was a kid, and all the things that I wanted to do, the challenges, and yeah, so that's kind of where it comes from.
Yeah. Wow, that's good. That's good. What was
Yeah.
about Odeya Rush that got your attention? Like her previous work, what was about her that made you pick her to play that
Yeah,
character?
I mean,
It's
it's
amazing.
really, yeah. I mean, she's an incredible person and a credible actress, super charismatic, professional, like everything that you could want in somebody. How we landed with her was really interesting. Like we had been trying to get this film going for um I would say 8 months prior to actually getting greenlit for it. So originally Odeya wasn't available, so we had other actresses attached to it, and um, so the timing actually worked out. Like we kept pushing, so um, we were losing actors and actresses. So like the fact that it all came full circle and Odeya was eventually available to do the film was huge. She's never carried a film, by herself, which was a little bit scary for both of us. Like she was super nervous, and of course I was as well. But I can't imagine anybody else doing it. And she's a star. She's gonna be, she's gonna have a huge career. She's incredible.
Yeah, yeah. You know that I interviewed her like years ago when she first started,
Yeah,
and then I thought that she has that. There's something about her, like she has a presence on screen that is very powerful. So,
absolutely, absolutely.
and
Yeah,
and
she's
I
yeah, like
she
she's in virtually every scene of the film, and like when she's not in the scene, you just want to go back to her. Like so it's yeah, we were so fortunate to have her in the film.
amazing. You also have Eric, that Dane,
Yeah, Eric Dane. Yeah,
and he's also really good. How
yeah,
was what was about him and how you guys, because even though they're kind of I don't want to spoil too much, but they're kind of she doesn't like Odeya's character doesn't like his character,
mm,
but there is a chemistry there that works.
absolutely.
Yeah, what was
Yeah,
about them like?
yeah. And in the film, like there's always like this push and pull between them. Like you don't really know. You trust him, then you don't trust him, and Rose likes him, and then she doesn't like it. Like there's always like this constant like push and pull with them, which I think is really interesting. And back to the chemistry element, like um, they were able to nail that, for sure. You know, in prep, when we were casting, we didn't really have the luxury to put them in a room together prior to bringing them on the film. So again, like you don't really know how it's gonna land, how they're gonna get along, like on screen and off screen. And I think they did an incredible job, and I think their connection is apparent when you watch them.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And as a director, like what was your biggest challenge? The boat,
Um,
the water. It's a
yeah, I mean,
lot of things.
exactly. Yeah, I think so a year prior to shooting the film, my producer Susan and I were down in the DR scouting. So we had a pretty good clear idea of where we were going to shoot and how we were going to shoot it a year before. So I had a lot of time to kind of imagine and prepare for the film. So I think the biggest challenge is, yeah, I mean, shooting on the water is incredibly difficult, with multiple cast and crew and being out at sea, which we were for a good chunk of the film. Like we actually shot practically like out there. So yeah, by far that was the biggest challenge, definitely.
How many days that you have to shoot the movie? It was
Yeah.
like a long,
No,
long.
no. It should have been, but no, we shot in 28 days.
Wow.
Yeah, I know,
Wow.
super quick, and we had to move around the island from the north to the south, central north. We were in quite a few spots around the island.
Yeah, and I also rely on the weather because you never know, right?
Absolutely.
Because the weather doesn't, they get the memo, but sometimes they don't follow the memo.
But also, like, on films like where you have studio builds, you can have cover sets, like where you can like escape to if the weather's horrible. And we had one cover set which was the inside of the boat. We could shoot in there and light it and protect from weather, but there weren't that many scenes in the interior of the boat. So once we kind of burned that, like we had no option. So the weather did cooperate incredibly, fortunately.
That's great. And
Yeah.
then I think this is one of the last projects for Ray Liotta, and
Yeah.
how was like work with him. He was also an amazing actor, an amazing person, and how was like work with him. And I don't know, I miss him already.
Yeah, I know. I think we all do. Like, and we all will. He's an icon, in the film industry, and working with him was incredible. Like, I feel like you know, I mean, getting him was I thought was going to be an incredible hurdle. I thought it would take weeks or maybe a month for him to even look at the script, because I'm sure he gets flooded with everything, and he was able to read it and get back to us very quickly. Like, from when we sent it to when he signed on for the film was less than a week. I think it was a few days. Like, he really, something in it spoke to him, and I think his performance in the film is really really incredible.
Yeah, that's amazing. And doing this project, being part of this project, of course, but like, what did you learn about yourself?
I learned a few things. I again, going back to the earlier part of our conversation, like, I love to challenge myself. Like, shooting on the water in 28 days with not a huge budget, was daunting, but it's something that I chose to do, and my producer Souza supported and chose to do. Like, she easily could have said this isn't going to happen, but I just feel like challenging myself constantly is just something that inspires me every day. Yeah.
And if you have to give an advice to someone who wanna pursue a career in this business, what advice would you give to that person?
I would do whatever it takes to get your foot in the door. It's like, Souza, the producer on the film, constantly is speaking with young up and coming filmmakers who want to be in the business, and have come out of college as a screenwriter or as a director. And I feel like really to get sense of the industry, like you should just start out as a production assistant, start out at the bottom and learn everything and grow within the industry. You'll probably end up as a writer or a director, but like just learn and respect what everybody does. It's important.
Yes, and are you already working on your next project? Anything that you can talk about?
Yeah, we did most of the post-production for Dangerous Waters in London. So we were there for 5 months. And the next film, a portion of it takes place on the East Coast of America, but the majority of it is in Europe. So we scouted Croatia and we scouted Spain, and it'll probably be one of those 2 countries that we shoot in. But I don't want to give too much away right now. So.
Yeah. No, I respect that, but I'm glad that you're already working on.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Hopefully
John,
next year we'll shoot it.
yes, of course, John. I just want to thank you so much for your time. It's a
very
pleasure
much.
to meet you and bring more exciting projects for us. Thank you so much.
I hope to see you again soon. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
If you like this video, don't forget to comment, to like, and subscribe to our channel right here.